Good day and welcome to this week's edition of Tourismus Namibia, where once again, as always, we give you a couple of topics and then have a look at a couple of destinations. And in the end, we still have to the point where we've got something special for you. My name is Frank Steffen and I'll obviously be leading you through this show. So up next, we've got topics. Right, and topics it is, and with the recent special conference about the human-wildlife conflict, one of the topics was the elephant population. And the latest estimates indicate that more than 24,000 elephants can be found in Namibia, with a population growth rate of something like 5.36% per year. There are about 160 elephants that are in private ownership in Namibia. But the bulk of Namibia's elephant population is found in the northeastern parts of Namibia, and in that 21,000 elephants make up that number. And so mainly found in the Kavango-Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area. Obviously, we've often spoken about the Kasa TFCA. However, Namibia's successful elephant conservation story obviously comes with a couple of challenges, with several areas in the country that have been identified as hotspots for this human-wildlife conflict. So still a lot to do, and remember, we've time and again brought you videos and various reports about what is being done to trace those elephants and so on. So this is obviously ongoing, but yes, the special conference clearly brought to light how big the problem for some of the areas are, especially because the elephants start running into areas that they previously did not inhabit anymore. Right, and the second one, we have a budget for this human-wildlife conflict with the environment, the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, telling us that they've got an annual budget of 285 million to address this human-wildlife conflict in the country. So this includes the availing of resources for salaries, overtimes, vehicles, translocation equipment, helicopters and operations, as well as a development budget. So over the past 15 years, nearly 42 million has been paid for human-wildlife conflict incidents across the country. So this year alone, already 1.58 million has been paid. Data from 2019 to date shows that flow of money from outside towards human-wildlife conflict management amounted to more than 2.57 million, and within the conservancies it was 15.59 million Namibia dollars. So what they said is that since 2019, a total of 37 people have been killed by wildlife, for which 3.6 million has been paid out. 4 people already have lost their lives this year alone. 16 of these total deaths were caused by crocodiles, 13 people were killed by hippos, 6 by elephants and 1 even by a baboon. So these figures were made available at the recently held Human-Wildlife Conflict Management Conference, as I said earlier, and a full report of that Human-Wildlife Conflict Management Conference and its recommendations will be prepared and submitted to Cabinet in the next 2 weeks for approval. So quite an interesting story going on, and clearly this human-wildlife conflict will still be with us for a while. But what was also interesting for me in the past week is to actually see that as far as the MEFT is concerned, the idea must not be anymore to grow these populations, but rather to conserve them and manage them, which then in effect would obviously have hopefully a lesser impact on this human-wildlife conflict. Right, and then we're looking at SADC, which is looking at this UniVisa for travelers. Very interesting story this, because the SADC, that's the Southern African Development Community, says it's systematically making progress in implementing the SADC tourism program for 2020 to 2030. So SADC strives to have programs in place by even this year still, so that tourists can travel through all the member countries with a single visa, while greater cooperation for tourism between countries in Southern Africa must take place. The SADC Secretariat Senior Program Officer, Moreri Mabote, disclosed this information during the Africa Travel Forum in Durban recently. So the tourism program serves as a strategic roadmap for the development of a sustainable tourism industry within the SADC, where focus is placed on removing the barriers to growth while promoting economic inclusion and transformation and forging partnerships with governments. 5 key strategic objectives for the program include encouraging visitors to travel within the region, improving the region's tourism reputation, developing cross-border areas for tourists, improving visitor experiences and tourism partnerships and collaborations. Pretty much sounds like the Hunt Conference, which we just saw happening. So key initiatives that have already been completed or are still being worked on include the creation of tourism working groups within the region, a visa or UniVisa that will facilitate movement between countries in the region, a platform for the private sector to increase their involvement, as well as a study on how accessible the region is when it comes to aviation. So other initiatives include the training of immigration officers at borders to provide better customer service, as well as the development of marketing and collaboration videos for tourism. Furthermore, it is also intended that policies and regulations for tourism should be in harmony with each other within the SADC-region. And the SADC UniVisa is run by 5 member countries, namely Angola, Mozambique, Namibia, South Africa, and Zimbabwe. Hopefully Zambia will still join, because I know that they've also done a test. So currently proposals for legal framework for this, as well as models according to which income can be shared, are being drawn up by the member states. So quite a mouthful there, but let's face it, if the UniVisa comes off, then clearly it will be so much easier to cross-share our various transborder conservation areas in a proper way, so that people can literally move from one country to the next. The way that we as Namibians already can go to Botswana, or the Botswana people can come to our country on a simple ID, which to my mind is the obvious answer, because at the end of the day, it becomes a bit of a hodgy-podgy for no good reason. Anyway, those are our topics today. Up next, we've got destinations.
Ranging from current affairs, community stories,
Thank you for joining the show that highlights the news-making headlines in the land of the brave and beyond.
Always major victorious.
This is Africa. Good morning.
My name is Aina Raizakaya alongside Diana Master.
In the ANC conference in December. So starting off with the cycling.
Africa, good morning. Do have a lovely...
Minister Monica Mchangwa has said that
with the soccer, the English Premier League continued, the biggest game being...
On that note, it is all our love, all our light.
Good evening and welcome to Sunset News.
Dutch stays in List A in his speech, rate in taxes, and how much.
After the break, we take a look at the sports.
We bring you
economic indicators, tomorrow's weather, and sports. I am Aina Raizakaya.
Welcome back, yes, and it's destinations. Up next, we are first looking at Kupferquelle Resort, which is obviously found in Tsumeb. So if we look at this map, it just gives you an indication from Windhoek going up to Tsumeb. As you enter Tsumeb on the right-hand side, you've got Kupferquelle, just around about 4 hours driving from Windhoek. If you look at this photo, you can see it from above. It literally has an Olympic-sized pool and lots of places where you can book yourselves into smaller rooms, bigger rooms, family units, you name it. A very nice restaurant, a couple of things to do. So I've just recently stayed there again, being on leave actually, so it's nothing to do with this show. And this resort combines the rustic charm of Namibia with the most sophisticated demands made to relaxing and exciting, to make it relaxing and exciting. It offers a range of accommodation, as said, with free Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and access to a garden with an outdoor swimming pool, as you could see there on the photo just now. So anyway, have a look at Maria from Kupferquelle Resort telling us more. We've got a video for you, so enjoy.
Welcome viewers, we're chatting to Maria of Kupferquelle Resort in beautiful, the copper town of Tsumeb. Maria, what makes Kupferquelle the special place that it is?
Okay, Kupferquelle is actually, when you are there, you feel more like you are in a lodge. You will not believe that you are in town at all.
I can attest to that because we've been there.
Really?
Yes, it's beautiful. And just so when I said, I'm sure I stayed in this room, I wasn't kidding.
Wow. And how was your experience?
It was actually fantastic. It's just like you said there, it feels like you are really out in nature.
Exactly, yes. And we do have an Olympic swimming pool. It's so fantastic.
And you don't just do overnight stays, you can do all kinds of special events and that kind of thing as well. Is there anything that stands out for you that you thought, wow, this was an amazing event to do?
Yes, we do have conferences there and weddings as well. And mostly for the ceremony, they have it at the open space at the grass area, at the
beautiful
pond. And it's really beautiful.
Oh, and it lends itself to stunning pictures too.
Yes.
Okay, you told me earlier that you are the booking agent. Have you ever had any kinds of weird requests?
Okay, not really. Probably it's still coming, but for now,
thank goodness.
Yeah.
On average, how many guests do you take in a week or a month?
I will say if it's really busy, we'll take 60 guests, because we do have 60 rooms that can take also up to 112 guests.
Goodness, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And of course you have the restaurant there too.
Yeah, we do have a restaurant. It used to be Dross, but now it's Kupferquelle.
Oh, and they make delicious dishes.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, sell Kupferquelle to me. What makes it amazing?
Okay, the people there, they are very friendly, welcoming, and we've got beautiful rooms with also, I like to call it like a sea view. It's a swimming pool. So
just a different kind of water body.
Yes, exactly, yes.
And I'm sure I've seen little ducks there.
Yeah, there are also ducks. When you are having a swim, so you can also swim along with them, keeping you company.
And of course, you're ideally located either on the way to Etosha or on the way to Windhoek.
Yes, ma'am. And mostly it's a nice stopover, like you said, when people are going to Etosha. Then they just have a rest there and then they continue the journey.
And that's it?
Yes.
Maria, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
And that's it, viewers, we're done.
Right, and that was Kupferquelle Resort up in Tsumeb, very nicely situated. Really, you'll love it. We took a family unit, and as part of the family unit, we could actually interlink it with another unit where friends of ours stayed. We met in the sitting room and had good talks. And you've got TV. We never used it, but apart from that, you've got a big deck in front, and we actually made a braai there. So very, very nice, I must say. Up next, we've got at Cronenhof Lodge, which is down south, and again from Windhoek going down to Kronenhof, which is like deep on the Namib run there. Again, a bit more than 4 hours, actually a bit closer to 5 hours, so you would have to plan a bit. Here, I've just indicated the road, coming from Malthuur, you would go down to Elmringhausen, but you can work your way over to at Kronenhof through the smaller roads, or you can come down from the side of Sossusvlei and sort of go past the Naukluft here. You can see where Kronenhof is situated. The lodge is down at a little kopje, and this is the road further up. It's on the farm Alt Duvisep. So anyway, quite a nice little place. Have a look at it. It's huge actually, and very, very nice. One of my colleagues spent time there recently, and he was just in awe. So on their internet site, they say Cronenhof Lodge is a privately owned reserve in the far south of Namibia, only 30 kilometers south of the famous Duvisip Castle. Midway between Aus and Sossusvlei via the C24 road and 110 kilometers west from Helmringhausen. It's actually, one should say, northwest really. It offers a variety of activities to keep guests busy, and so clearly we asked the guys to prepare a video for us once again. I would say have a look.
Hello viewers, welcome back. I'm speaking to Chart Venter of at Kronenhof. Chart, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Please tell us a bit about your lodge. How old are you? How new are you? What do you offer?
Yes. We started building in 2019, just before the best time of the year of the world. So yeah, and then 2020 everything came to a standstill. But we just continued and hoped for the best, and now we're at the best. So officially opening in 2021. We're just over 2 years open now. So we're hoping for the best for the rest of the tourism start picking up now. So now it's looking good. And
tell me about the lodge itself. What do you offer?
We have some self-caterings, we have dinner, bed and breakfast rooms, we have communal campsite, we have private campsite, and then we also have our flagship, that's our Mountain View Villa also.
Oh, so that sounds nice like something. Oh, is it for groups?
Yeah, it's for groups and family, for friends, so yeah, it's nice on its own. It's quite nice. Look over the scenery, nice scenery everywhere, so yeah, and the waterhole down there. So
how did you get involved in this whole industry?
Before we started with the lodge, we done some cattle and sheep farming down there, but because of the drought, we had 7 years of bad drought down in the south, so we started to moving over to look for something else. And the C27 road comes past us. We are midway between Luderitz and Sossusvlei. So it's a nice stopover for you when you at Luderitz, do all the activities down there, move to us, sleep over down there, and then the next morning you're nice and fresh for the Sossusvlei. Or vice versa. You can also do Sossusvlei and then come back, sleep over, and then you're ready for Kolmanskop.
Which is
to
another
get some
adventure.
diamonds.
It's a complete other adventure on its own. You and I spoke earlier about clay pigeon shooting. So what activities have you got?
Yeah, we have some nice clay pigeon shooting, and you don't need to eat it after you shoot it.
Thank goodness.
Some people asking me if we need to eat it. So no, you don't need to eat it. So we have scenic drives. We have oryx, springbok, kudu, blesbok, black wildebeest, zebra, giraffe, ostrich. And then we also have a waterbuck down there roaming around. So we do that with scenic drive, then sundown at the end also. Nice scenery when you finish up your nice day. And then we also have some hiking trails down there that the people can enjoy. Just stretch the legs a bit and get away of that stiffness. So it's all good.
Okay, so I have to ask, farming or lodging, which do you like best?
Sometimes it's nice to just say thanks for leaving, but it's nice in both ways. It's nice to meet new people, to talk to people, see how they got to this point, what work they are doing. I cannot speak to the cattle, so that's a bit difficult.
Different language.
Now I'm still struggling with that one, but no, both have their own challenges, but both of them are nice. So they complement each other quite good.
Thank you, Chart. That's all for today.
Right, and that was at Cronenhof Lodge down the south. The person that I spoke to was actually our CEO, and he was on leave when he went there, and he was like, wow, he couldn't talk about it enough. So I would say that's quite a good reference for anybody. Not that he's full of nonsense, simply because he enjoyed it so much. Right, up next we've got To The Point.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. play Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Yeah, we just spoke about our CEO, Albi Botha, and in fact, what's happening at the moment, he's spending time in China trying, basically on a business trip. And while there, he decided to get onto the big wall, Great Wall of China, that is, and he, together with a colleague of mine, Rudy, they actually got up to the wall and they decided to have a quick video for our other program, Kletskompass in Afrikaans. And but it was so nice that I decided we should have it on this show as well, and hopefully you'll be able to follow what we've transcribed at the bottom. Have a look.
Ja, ons is hier bo Great Wall of China, redelijk ver gestap. Ek en Rudy nog stuur groete vir al ons kykers daar by Kletskompass en sê, it's 'n wonderlike land, China, jy moet regtig die plek kom besoek. Beyond borders soos nog nooit tevore. Rudy?
Ja, dankie. It's a great experience om hier te wees. Nie net lekker hier so in China. Dankie.
Reg, maak plan en kom China toe.
Right, and that's to the point for today. So being outside Namibia, beyond borders, like our Expo said recently. For us, it's the end of the show today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you back again next week, same time. Until then, keep well.